Okay, David, so a 3-0 win against 1874 Northwich at home. How good did you think we were today?
I think that's as good as we've been in my time at the club. I thought in terms of the overall performance, we were excellent. I thought work rate was good, intensity with the ball was good. We moved it with purpose. We created lots of chances. We combined well. We saw wingers coming off inside. We saw fullbacks went outside. Midfielders overlapping and making third man runs. But we hardly gave a chance away. There was one lapse in the first half when Josh Corliss hit the post. Other than that, I thought defensively we were superb, and we hunted and we pressed and we won the ball back high. And you know, 3-0 absolutely doesn't flatter us. We created plenty of chances. So very, very pleased with the response after last week and what we focused on in the week in training.
Was the first half among some of the best football you think you've played here at Seal Park?
I think so. Yeah, we moved the ball so well. We worked on it. We spent a good chunk of Tuesday, good chunk of Thursday looking at different patterns and different shapes and different ways to move it. We were conscious last week, having watched it back, we weren't as bad as we probably thought in the immediate aftermath, and we actually played quite well and got into some good positions, but the quality of the ball in wasn't great. Where we delivered it from wasn't great, and the options in the box weren't good enough. So we looked at how we could change that, and we saw the result. You know, Mason's goals of both balls being worked in and wingers getting in the box. But we had some great overlaps where Will went down the side, Freddie went down the side, Bailey was making that run from inside to out, wingers were coming outside to in, JB got forward, and that's what we want, that fluidity and ability to express themselves, and they really kind of rose to that today.
How pleasing is it with both the Mason Thorne's goals where he's had to put a shift in to get to the ball and then finish it at the same time? Two really good goals from him.
It's nice. I've only told him about 5,000 times. Alex has told him about 4,000 times to get off the line and get in on the back post. And you've got 6 goals a season. Well, there's 2 of them today. But he's rewarded because he does work hard. I think he's probably overlooked a little bit. I think you overlook Mason's hard work sometimes because he's a flair player. And probably the same with Banning. You overlook Kane Hickman's quality sometimes because he's the other way. He does work so hard. But we've got players with quality. We've got players who work hard for each other. He's got his reward today, and it's good to see.
How pleasing it is as well to keep a clean sheet without the experience of Shane Killick and Jack Grundy and Josh Dickens stepping up today and doing a really good job.
Well, I'd say those two plus Tom. I thought Tom today was excellent. I thought his communication was good. There were a number of balls whizzing across the box, and you could hear him early talking to the back four and letting things run out because there was no pressure on them. I thought he swept well and kept well. I thought Josh and Jack really did well against Josh Corliss. He's a big handful. He's an awkward player to play against with his size. He's a decent player, and I thought they got the decisions right and when to go and compete with him and when to let him have it. They didn't shirk a challenge. They cleared it, defended when they had to. They played when they could. I thought they were excellent, and the fullbacks then were given a bit more licence because of that stability to step in and affect things higher up the park.
Bailey Marsden played a different role today. It looked like a little bit of a change of shape maybe. Played higher up. How effective was he in that role today?
It was a tweak, and it was a tweak as much to try and get Bailey higher out of possession, and it worked really well. So it's going to support Keir with the press. But what Bailey did do, and we know he does, and he does all the time in training, he times his runs really well. So he was able to, with a little bit more freedom, make those runs into the channels. And the third goal came from that. But he did it 3 or 4 times where he got into good positions and put decent balls into the area that we didn't quite connect with. It just gave him a little bit more freedom, and it's difficult because Kane was sat on the bench. Kane was fit again today. We went with those 3. Could easily have gone with Kane. It's going to be very hard who we pick next week. But it's a good problem to have when you've got that kind of quality and those options. And Bailey gives us a different option as that sort of 10 than somebody like Mason who comes to feet.
And we've said it last couple of weeks again. Today it's very relevant. Weather was not great football and weather, horrific weather today, but we saw 2 teams both trying to get the ball on the ground, play football. It's another really good advert for non-league football and getting people down.
Northwich are a good side. They're a good footballing side. They showed that in both games last year. They've shown that in the results they've had so far this year. And you can see why they beat teams. They're organised, they're hard working, they've got some real quality. Mackenzie and Joe Woolley on the wings caused us some problems. The substitutes when they came on caused us some problems. We had to defend and be honest and work hard. And a couple of times both fullbacks had to recover to get back in against those wingers. So they were a good side, and this league's tight this year, and they deservedly were. I think 6 going into the game, I don't know where they are now, but they deserve to be around there. They were a good side, well organised, try and play the right way. Good spirit after the game as well. There was no animosity or anything. There never has been in the games with them. So it's how non-league football should be.
And we move on to tough away games coming up. Thoughts on those two?
I've set a target. Yeah, I've set a target for the games before Christmas. We had 7 before today. I wanted 5 wins. Put it in the programme. I told the players. We talked about on Thursday what the expectations are. And we've ticked off one of those. Now we've got 4 from 6. But if you look at the next couple, Bootle are a little bit up and down at the moment. Not sure what you're going to get. They're obviously in a bit of a rebuilding phase, but will be a good side. We know last year they were a very resolute side, and I can't see them being any different. And they've got some quality going forward. And then Macclesfield. We played them here. We know they're a good side with experience. We saw though that when we got against them and we put them under pressure, we caused them some problems. So we'll play the game our way, both games. I want to pick up at least one win. I would like, I'd like 2. We've got to pick up at least one win from those to give ourselves a chance going into the next. We now want 4 from 6.
And then last of all, really, you look at the league table. I think a lot of people have said we've had games in hand. We're still sticking in around those places. That's got to be pleasing that games in hand are coming down and we're still where you want to be.
Yeah, games in hand versus points on the board, and I think given the choice, I'd have points on the board. We saw last year when we had a bit of a cup run, we probably had games in hand on a couple of teams at this stage of the season, and we went on that run. And it happens, and it can happen. So I'd rather have the points on the board. I still think we've dropped 6. I will keep going back to that. And I hope it doesn't haunt us at the end of the season. And that's put the pressure on now. That means we have to pick up, next now 4 from the next 6, I think, to keep ourselves in there. But we've got to look after ourselves. We've shown with performances today against Workington, against Runcorn, we can compete with anybody in this league. We're good enough to beat anybody in our day, but we've got to hit the standards we set today, the work rate, desire, sheer graft, and then the quality when we got the ball. Doing that, I think we should stay up there all season, but it's down to application.
And the very last word for the fans today, 474 in Seal Park on a horrible day is a really good turnout.
It was a miserable day. It was absolutely awful, and you could see them all sheltered under the far side and at the park end, and it was great. And actually, really made a difference. We started the game well. The fans immediately got up, and it really does make a difference. The fans are cliche 12th man, but that's how I want Seal Park to be. I want people not to enjoy coming here because they know it's going to be relentless. We're not going to give them a moment's rest on the pitch. The fans are going to be vocal. They're going to be supporting us, and they know they're going for a tough afternoon. So they play a massive role in the success that we're having, and hopefully go on to have. So huge thank you for coming out braving the elements, because it makes a world of difference.
Thanks, David. Well done for today.
Thanks, Nathan.